The Heritage of the Bhikkhu. Section. British Rule. It is probable that the English first planned the conquest of Ceylon in 1763. By this time, Calcutta, Bombay, and Madras in the Indian subcontinent were occupied by the British. In 1763, the English governor of Madras sent an envoy named Phoebus to King Kirti Sri Rajasimha in Kandy, expressing his willingness to support the king and fight the Dutch. Though the envoy returned to Madras with a draft agreement after his meeting and discussions with the king, Kirti Sri Rajasimha received no assistance whatsoever from the British in Madras. Nevertheless, in 1782, Lord Macartney, governor of Madras, dispatched troops with a British fleet to Ceylon, with the intention of capturing the maritime provinces occupied by the Dutch. They captured the fortress at Trincomalee. An effort on the part of the English to enter into a fresh treaty with the Sinhala king at this stage proved a failure, for King Kirti Sri Rajasimha had lost faith in the British, who had ignored an earlier plan. However, as a result of a peace treaty in Europe in 1783, the fortress at Trincomalee was restored to the Dutch. War in Europe again aroused hostilities between the British and the Dutch in 1795. In this year, Lord Hobart, governor of Madras, sent an army to Ceylon and captured the fortress at Trincomalee. A month later, the British captured Jaffna. In the following month, Negombo fell. On February the 16th, 1796, the British conquered the fort of Colombo and ended Dutch rule in Ceylon. From 1796, the British ruled over all those territories previously held by the Dutch. The British, like their Portuguese and Dutch predecessors, did everything possible to undermine Buddhism and Sinhala culture, to spread Christianity and Western culture, to create disaffection in the minds of the people towards their national government, and to strengthen the power of their own government in Ceylon. They aimed at gaining supremacy over the whole island by instigating internal conflicts among the Sinhalese. The Sinhalese and the British often quarreled, and, in 1803, the British declared war on the Sinhala king. Thenceforth, the British harnessed all their might and strength to destroy the Sinhala monarchy. The freedom of the Sinhala nation and the freedom of Buddhism in Ceylon were lost to the British on March 2, 1815, in Kandy. Thus, the British became the first and the only foreign power in history to occupy the whole of Ceylon. Even on this darkest and saddest day in the history of the Sinhala nation, even in the deeply depressing last moment of their freedom, the honor and prestige of the proud Sinhalese and their religion was saved and protected by a bhikkhu. Until the Kandyan Convention was accepted and signed that day by both parties, in the audience hall in Kandy, the British had no lawful right or authority to hoist their flag in Kandy. An impatient British soldier, elated with a sense of victory and being more than sure that in a few more minutes the flag of his nation was destined to flutter victoriously in the cool breeze of the Kandyan hills, regardless of whether his action was lawful or not, hoisted the Union Jack, even before the convention was signed. In that August gathering that day, there was not a single, self-respecting, brave Sinhalese layman who had the courage to stand up against this humiliation to nation and religion, both of which had enjoyed the fruits of freedom for more than 2,000 years. But at that moment, when the last breath of freedom was being extinguished, at that gloomy ceremony where the death knell of a free nation was about to be sounded, the Venerable Walpola Vinayakarya Dipamkara Anu Nayaka Thera of the Humpola Royal Temple in Kandy, who was present at this meeting, inspired by the pride of his nation and impelled by the love and devotion to his religion, surged out of the crowd, pushed away the British soldier, tore down the Union Jack, trampled on it, and standing upon it said in a voice fearless and resonant, quote, "Until the convention is completed, this flag cannot be hoisted here." End quote. Even today, a reminiscence of this deed of Walpola Thera acts as a divine spell to inspire the Sinhala people with national pride. It is clear, therefore, that from the beginning to the end of the history of the Sinhala nation, bhikkhus were the custodians of its freedom, culture and civilization, literature, arts, and crafts. On every occasion when both the nation and the religion were in danger, Buddhist monks came forward to save and protect them. Because of this selflessness and because of the services rendered by the bhikkhu, people listened to his words with love and respect. End of section.